Hey guys, welcome to some more fantasy football. And today I'm going to be talking about my game week 1 points, and I'm going to be talking about what transfers I could be making, and then I'm just going to give you a view of what my week 2 will look like. So we're going to go into what happened on game week 1. I currently scored 54 points. The average was 57, so just below average. And so if we go to look at the squad, Pickford with 1, got absolutely battered by Brentford. So there was no clean sheet, nothing. So just 1 point for playing the full 90. As for the Arsenal defence, they kept a clean sheet. So he got 5 points for the clean sheet, 1 for the minutes, which is a good return. Obviously, the Arsenal defence is more to keep clean sheets than going forward. As Gw2 got a win as well, 1 clean sheet, 1 full 90 minutes, had a couple of chances and some good blocks, giving him a bonus point. So that was 7 points. Saka did very well. 1 goal, 1 assist in that game against Wolves, which gave me 12 points. He also got a yellow card, so he could have been more if he'd not got yellow. As for Eze, a bit of a disappointing one for Eze because he did have a free kick in which he scored. Unfortunately, the ref blew the whistle before it had gone in because there was a tussle in the box. However, at the end of the game, it was viewed that it would have been given a goal if the ref hadn't blew his whistle. So, unfortunately, he only got 2 points, but there's promising signs from Eze that he could get some returns in the upcoming fixtures. Bruno Fernandes got the win, had a couple of chances, should have got 2 or 3 goals in that game against against Fulham, could have got assist, so there was positives then for Bruno, but again with hard fixtures coming up in game week 3 against Liverpool, it could be a potential transfer out. Gordon, a bit of a stinky one for Newcastle, went down to 10 men. They did beat Southampton, but there was nothing really from Anthony in the game because of them being down to 10 men. So it was just a 3 points. Isaac with the assist. So he got 3 points for the assist, 2 for the full 90. He was the captain, which is why he's on 10. Watkins, again, only played 60 minutes of the game, so he got his 2 points, but there was nothing from him. And Solanke, again, relying on Spurs was unfortunate. As for the bench, Smith Rowe had a decent game. Obviously, points from the bench doesn't go towards your team, but with some nice fixtures coming up, you can see that I think Smith Rowe will be coming into my team. The big talking point this week, guys, is Barco. Has looked to be going off to Sevilla on loan, which means that obviously he won't be in the Premier League to get points. Now, this isn't confirmed. Obviously, with price drops potentially coming, it's whether do you sell him or do you keep him. Obviously, if he goes on loan, there is rumoured that his price will be locked at 4 million, which means obviously you don't lose points, not points, money price on him. However, that is no guarantee. So a lot of people have sold Barco this week. I'm not going to because I don't want to waste a transfer, as I do have a plan in mind what I want to do. Obviously, if his value goes down, then I've got to kind of refigure my strategy. But for now, his price is fine. There is no confirmed that he is going. There has just been a talk of him moving on loan. But again, then he wouldn't play in game week 2 or 3 anyway, with United and then Arsenal. So I was very close of actually having a good team. Obviously, before game week 1, my team would have looked like Bruno out, and I had Maddison in, and I also had Porro in. Now if we can go to transfers, search player, Maddison there. Maddison got 5 points. So that would have been an extra 2 points on Bruno. And then if we go and look at Porro, obviously got injured, rumoured that he might not play, but he got 9 points. So if we're saying, go back to the team, not 15 points extra would have put me on around about 70 points. So it could have been a better weekend. It wasn't terrible. As for my rank in my leagues at work, I'm currently sitting 9th in the overall of where I work, out of 16, is that? Yeah. And then the league that I'm running, I'm currently sitting 3rd, and the best being 59 points. So I'm not far off making strides in. So that was last week. Obviously, let's look at the highest point team. So if you had Raya, 8 points, Trent, 8 points, Porro was 9, Dallo, Martinez was 7. Hudson-Odoi was 3. Gordon was in there. Captain Salah would have got you 28 points. Jota on 8. Isaac with 5. And Havertz was 12. Chris Wood had a good weekend. On Bamba for Brentford. On 9 had a decent weekend. That was the highest scoring team overall on FPL on game week 1. For transfer wise, I have one free transfer. Obviously we've talked about Barco, whether he goes and whether his price falls. I'm not going to make a transfer this week. However, I do have an idea of what I want to go for. So I'm going to get rid of Bruno in game week 3 if the person I'm bringing in's price stays the same. Going to be selling Watkins. Watkins is an unfortunate one because he's not fully fit. However, this week he probably won't do much, but the game weeks after, he has good fixtures. So I don't know whether I want to risk it or make this change. So my change would be to bring in Mo Salah into that midfield and have a Saka and Salah combination. Now, when I picked my team, I knew I didn't want to go Haaland, but I completely forgot about Salah. And if I had put Salah in, then I could have had a lot more points. So it's a bit of an unfortunate one. It obviously does mean that I need to use two transfers to make the change, which is why I'm looking to make it next week rather than this week and not take the points because of this new 5-role system. And then the second forward, I have two options. The first option is to go a 6 million Wazza for Brentford. Obviously got 1 goal and assist in that Brentford win against Palace. Now that doesn't mean that obviously he's going to do well, but for rumours that Tony isn't going to be there, then obviously there is a chance that he's going to get more game time and could be the number one striker for Brentford. So that's 6 million, which means that obviously I'm back to zero money in the bank. But my other option is to go for a cheeky Jamie Vardy, which then leaves me 5 million. And obviously if Barco then goes, I can look at potentially bringing a 4.5 million player in. Someone like Mazarari, maybe Martinez for United, though it's a risk. Someone like Livramento for Newcastle. And there's some options like Robertson from Fulham, who, like we said about Smith Rowe's fixtures, are very good. Apart from when they play Man City in Gameweek 7. So there's options to do. For right now, if I wanted to go for this team, that's 8 points. Obviously, you have the wild card and the free hit to use. Now, I don't want to use them too early, so I'm looking at that next week to make the 2 transfers and then maybe see how Man United line up, or see how the Aston Villa defence is. Someone like Konzo in there. Like I said, Robertson. I wouldn't really say maybe Ipswich, but then you're not really trusting on the clean sheets. You're looking for output. So some changes come in soon. But for this week, I'm sticking with my original team. Lineup wise, I'm thinking about dropping Watkins and playing a 5 midfielders. Obviously, the tough question is, last season, Aston Villa beat Arsenal both times, and Watkins getting an assist in one game and a goal in another. Obviously, this time Watkins isn't fully fit, so it's a big, with obviously Fulham playing Leicester, that's at home, is a good fixture. But if I drop Watkins and then he gets a goal, it's a big decision. That's something I've got to weigh up. Obviously, the games aren't until Saturday, and I don't think the deadline is till 11. So I've got about 2 days to decide on whether I want to stay Watkins or do I take the risk with Fulham and go Smith Rowe, and play with 5 midfield. So that's what I'm really looking at for this week. Obviously, I don't have him, but I think the key thing that is being spoken about this week is obviously Erling Haaland. Obviously, I can't afford him, and I knew I didn't want to go for Haaland. But obviously, with Haaland getting that goal against Chelsea, and now going into fixtures like Ipswich, where people are thinking about making triple captain. Obviously, for me, I don't have Haaland, and I don't have Salah at the minute. So my triple captain, I'm looking for potentially a game week where there's 2 fixtures, a double game week. Obviously, there's reports that this season there's only going to be out 2 or 3 out of the whole year with double weekends. So for people who do have Haaland, it's not a bad shout to go with a triple captain this week. But I thought Ipswich were quite good against Liverpool. Obviously, for the first 45 minutes, they held Liverpool. Obviously, I'm not saying Haaland should be compared to Darwin Núñez, or Jota. But if they could do what they did against Liverpool, then there's a chance where you've just wasted your triple captain. Obviously, we saw in the second half, Liverpool found the spaces, chances were created, and then the goals came. With obviously more quality and that presence of Haaland up front, there is a chance that it could be a goal fest. So I'm not saying don't use it, but for me, if I did have Haaland in my team, I would not be playing a triple captain this week. I'd be looking for a double weekend where I could maximise my points. So for me, the team's staying the same. It's just going to be whether do I drop Watkins for Smith Rowe, and then I hope that for next week, that Mo Salah price doesn't increase, or someone like Bruno Fernandes or Watkins' price decreases, because then I would have to look at elsewhere. So that is my team for going into game week 2, guys. Let me know in the comments how you're doing well in your FPL. Let me know, is bringing Salah in a good option, or do I stick with my team and trust that Watkins finds some form, and in the next couple of fixtures that he has, with likes of Leicester, Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, that he could get some returns? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my FPL content or my career modes on the channel, and let me hit that 250 goal of getting subs. But thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video.